Well, we've just had a delivery and this is something really exciting that I know Redders is going to be really pleased about because it's one of his biggest bugbears while we're travelling. Redders!
What?
You know when we go away for 3 months at a time and the
Yeah.
thing you hate about the house and leaving the house the most, what is it?
I'm looking at it now, the grass, yeah.
Yeah, we go away and we leave our 3 sons in charge. Oh, the fuss we have getting them to mow the lawn. Anyway, I've got something to show you and I think you're going to really like it. Come here. Look at that.
Wow, it's a lawnmower, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a robot lawnmower.
Brilliant.
That's going to cut the grass in our absence.
I like a bit of that.
Yeah?
I like gadgets.
Right, so we need to thank Mammotion for sending us this lawnmower to try out, get rid of all our travel woes in one package. So what have we got here? It's a 3D vision robot lawnmower. Do you think that means it mows for 18 minutes?
No, what it means is it's an 18-minute setup, no wire perimeter, 3D mapping, so it's not going to miss a corner. So this is what it says on the box, so what we can do is try and see what it does itself.
Yeah.
It looks good, sounds good. A carpet-like cut.
Oh, good, because look at the state of that.
That's a manky mess. You can manage zones. You've got an app to control it. You can do it with Google Assistant.
Yeah. Oh, I like that one because our front garden's quite open.
Anti-theft. And
Anti-theft GPS.
and it goes back to charge itself.
This sounds great.
That makes the business, doesn't it?
It does. I think this is the answer to our prayers.
I think it is, yeah. I mean, I know people watching are going to think, well, hang on, you're a travel channel. But if you travel and you've got a lawn left at home and you've got 3 sons who say there's no petrol in the lawnmower, or when there is, I can't get it started, or it's too heavy, or any excuse not to cut the grass. The last time we had to get it cut, it cost, I think it was about 60 quid just for this little patch because it had grown up so high.
Yeah, I'll show you this. Please excuse the washing. But yeah, this is our back grass. Now, we don't have an awful lot on the back, but this is actually a very big garden and we've got quite a lot on the front.
Yeah,
so getting them to, they wouldn't, like you said,
well, I had to get somebody
they're hopeless.
The first thing was it needed trimming, then it needed mowing. It was 60 quid. Didn't even bother with the front because that was twice as much.
Yeah.
So that would have been 180 quid to mow the grass front and back. So there's no point in asking the sons to do it. It's not going to happen. I could bring somebody in to do it every other week.
But then the sons have to be here to let them in because we've got so many bolts and security on the gate.
So this thing just docks, it charges itself, and you've got to lift it up. And lifting it up, you can just lift it up. It's not even that heavy, you know. So let's have a little look.
It's a big box though.
It's a big box, so it's well packaged.
Yeah.
From the company saying we'll send it, what was it, a day, 2 days?
They said they send it yesterday.
Yeah, look at it.
I only arranged this with the company yesterday, and that's why I said to you the other day, don't cut the grass, which is why it's looking in the state it's in, because I wanted to make sure we had some grass to cut for this.
Yeah, and we're in South Wales, it was raining.
Oh yeah, it was piddling down. Ooh, okay, this is nicely packaged, isn't it?
It is.
Dolly, are you helping? No. Right.
So keep the box in folds in case of repair.
Okay, this looks like a docking station.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We've got a docking station. We've got an accessory kit. Here's the accessories.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
Oh, that's a screwdriver.
Screwdriver.
So you got some tools there.
We've got some pegs, pins, tools, plugs.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Don't know what that is. Put them over here.
Those there, so we can keep stocking what we get.
Yep. All the other things.
Even more stuff. That's probably
Warranty and instructions. What's that?
No idea. We'll get there when we do. Looks like
a big long pole.
a big pole.
There's more underneath here.
That's part of the dock, but we'll get there. It's just interesting to see what they've got.
Oh.
And how many bits involved.
I wonder what this is. Wow, we're going to have to get those instructions, I think.
Yeah, and that.
What is that?
I will say.
Oh, hang on, there's another box over here. And there's all these little things in there, look.
It's packaged really well, isn't
It is, yeah, very nicely packaged.
Screw, blade, aerial, and a sense, I reckon. But again, it'll all come to fruition when we put it together.
Look at that bad boy.
Look at that. And what I do like is that they've actually shipped it as it is in a box. It's not a box in bubble wrap.
Yeah.
So that's pretty environmentally friendly. Yeah, it's foam, but you know.
Oh, that's the underneath. So he's a three-wheeler. I mean, these look like his cutting blades here.
Yeah.
Look.
Good chunky wheel. Oh, let's look at that.
How heavy is he?
I'd say it's about 12 kilos maybe.
Oh, right, so manageable.
We'll have a look on the website, but you know, it's pick up, manageable.
That is very smart looking. Look at him.
Isn't it just?
Yeah. So that probably goes onto this plate here.
So we're doing lots of probablys. I do read instructions really.
Yeah.
So that's all the bits.
That's a lot of bits.
It reckons 18 minutes to set up.
Wow.
But I will say, impressive from the off. There's your instruction manual, which it looked a lot, but if it's that simple, there we are. Carefully read. Instructions are. No, it's not that thick. I mean, the instructions.
That's the leaflet.
That's a leaflet. In English. Sometimes you'll get a booklet and it's got multiple.
So this is the quick start
languages.
guide. There's no big guide. I'm assuming anything looks simple. Ah, here we go. Look. You've got lots of QR codes for your support as well, so that's good. This isn't going to take long, I don't think. Let's get to it.
It's all set up, which was fairly straightforward. It needed to be charged, and you link it either to Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. Then it asked to upgrade. That took a few moments. But now it's upgraded, I can do what they call mapping. And the mapping is setting this, and you only ever do it once, is setting the robot the perimeter of your lawn.
Oh, right, okay.
So what I have to do is what they call map it.
Mm-hmm.
So to initiate the heading calibration, control the robot forward until the status turns
It's got a little camera
ready.
on the front.
It's got a camera. Tap to create a map, understand. So let's create. So this is going to do the area. Okay, so it asks you what you want to do. It's giving you a nice diagram of the area, see?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to run it around the perimeter up to the hedges.
Yep.
And it'll work out exactly where I need to cut. So
Right.
start.
You can see where I didn't bother to trim around the edges the last time we mowed.
It's got a wiper.
Yeah, it's got a windscreen wiper on the front. It makes some very, very jazzy tunes, doesn't he?
Oh, it does.
This is the post for the satellites. So, oh, he's doing something.
So this is initiating calibration.
So he's mapping it out now, using it like a remote control. This is Maggie here. You don't often see Maggie. She's our son's dog. She does live in this house. That's Wilf. What you have to do is use your remote control, your phone, your app, and do the outside, map the entire outside edge of the lawn. And then obviously it's mapped it and it understands what it's got to do, and it's got to cut in the middle.
So let's see what it does, shall we?
So it mapped it out.
So it's going to mow. We can have it cutting zigzag or cross, or it says it's going to take 13 minutes. So let's see what it does.
Oh, okay.
Game on. Ready?
Yep.
Start working. Complete.
Okay, it's not done a bad job actually. It's a little bit there, so Redders needs to replot and map the lawn. And what we're going to do is cut the edging of the lawn further out, so it can do that without having to worry about the edging. Because obviously we've got long bits still, which we always did have.
I think the only thing to be mindful of is when you plot it, is that the body is slightly wider than the blades, which is why it's sort of kept away from the edges, whereas with the mower I'll normally just jam it in there and do that. So yeah, you might have to modify the edge of the lawn a little bit, but the cut's pretty good.
The cut is very good, actually.
But I will replot it again because, you know, the first time was a bit of a... You're driving a remote control car, aren't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll replot it whilst you do a cup of tea and a bit of crumpet, and I'll set it rolling again. So let's see what this does on slopes. This has been programmed into the front garden, so I'm interested to see how well it's going to cut. My plotting skills weren't the best, but let's give it a run, and if I've got to replot it again, it takes no time whatsoever to plot it to cut. So you can see before, lots of yellow bits and bobs, and off it goes down there to cut my grass. Whilst I watch it. Hey. This cutting grass business. Look at that, it's doing amazing. So it's just the two areas I've plotted in on it, which is straightforward enough to do. It's just getting used to using the joystick controls on your phone. So that really is doing a nice cut. Yeah, there's a couple of long bits that are left. You know, the big long dandelions, but they'd be left probably with a mower. This little thing really is doing a great job, saving a lot of time and effort, to be honest. So when I'm away, this will cut the grass. And you can see it's working in the corner, and I've programmed it to turn down, so if it comes across any obstructions, it stops, works out where the problem is, and starts itself again. So there we are, it's now going on the perimeter. I've set it fairly close to the fence, but not too close, because of course if it catches the wheels, it's just going to stop, and the only thing it won't do, if it launches itself off the ground, it doesn't reset itself, it just says it's stuck in the air and you've got to help it, which is fair enough. We wouldn't need help stuck in the air. Yeah, that is going in as close as what my lawnmower would. Oh, it's picked up a little fault there. What's it going to do? Well, it's reset itself. So it just got a little bit caught there. You can see it going around the post, no problem there. And I've asked it to go up the hill and carry on cutting that perimeter. Yeah, that's it. Take that weed out. There we go. Bye, weed. So I've got a couple of long straggly bits there. So let's see what it does. I'm not going to help it too much, because if I'm not here, there ain't much that can be done, is there? And I'll just leave it with the boys, but that's a phone call, isn't it? Yeah, it really is doing, look at that, quite a nice job. Right, okay, so going to get tangled on this weed. You can hear it getting there. And yeah, straight over. It's even mowed the thorns off, so that'll make it nice and easy to pick up. There we go, so we're on the perimeter run again. You can program it to do patterns and write things and bits and bobs, so I'll get round to doing that, but this was really about, can I cut it, how easy is it, and you can see it's super simple, isn't it? So it is pretty much doing what I've asked it to do, like I said, at the back as well, so you've got to be quite specific with the areas. But as I said, there is also a manual override if there's bits you miss if you don't want to reprogram it. But you know, do it once, do it well, you'll never have to do it again. And once we get the sweeper and the collection box on top of it, brilliant. Okay, so this is where I'm asking it to go in a little bit deeper. You can see it pushing. Now it's coming back. There we go. So it's going to be working its way around the perimeter again. And in the bits and bobs, it's got its sensors on the front, picking up where the issues might be. And of course the wiper, in case it gets a bit dangerous out there. So you can see it's doing a really good job. We've got a collector sweeper coming to pick up the grass clippings. But yeah, it's cutting it really well. Very surprised with it. It's going really nicely, and the transmitter is in the back garden, so it really is reaching from front to back of the house. And it's probably best part of 30 odd meters front to back. So yeah, it's doing a good job. Let's just see how it finishes. And you can see it's on a bit of a slope there. It doesn't seem to be struggling at all. It's got a nice chunky wheels on the back. And you can see what it's avoiding, because I've got branches and trees overhung. Rather than get tangled up, it seems to be avoiding those really nicely. And you can see already, look, you can see where it's cut. There's a nice channel there already compared to where I haven't cut. That is impressive, to be honest. Really good bit of kit, look at that. So again, you can see it's right in deep into the trees and the bushes. That's quite a climb up this slope now. That's probably a 30-degree climb, if not a little bit more, but there or thereabouts. And here it comes. So it's certainly good on the terrain. Again, you know, if it was wet grass and mud, yeah, the wheels are going to slip. But they're quite nice chunky wheels. Look at the size of them. And the tractor wheels on the back there. So this has been running now for about 10 minutes, maybe a bit longer. And it hasn't faulted or caught any problems, which is good to see. Because the idea is that you can just set it running and leave it, and any alerts just go to your phone. More coming up here, so there's a bit it hasn't cut yet there, so I'm assuming this is the final perimeter that I put in. Let's see what it does, because it can get a bit thick in there. Let's just sense a little bit of non-structure there. Yeah, in you go. Nice. There's the final bit, go in there. You can see what it's doing. So I think I got a little bit of a problem here. It's hit a patch of wet grass, so you can see it's trying to get itself out of trouble. It's stuck going forward because there's a big post in the way. And it can't seem to get itself out. It's working hard, so I can't really help it at the moment. So yeah, you can see that it can't go forward, can't go backwards. So let's just do a little turn for it, see what it does. So that's the first time I had to put my hands on it. Itself a little bit stuck back. So she's getting there. Look at that. So yeah, that's quite a little slope I've got there. So that's the only thing, it's struggling just a little bit there, where it's slightly wet. But I've got to say, the cut, as I keep saying, is very good. Yes, it did struggle there on the slope. You can see the tyre tracks, or the wheel tracks where it's tried. So it did skid a little bit, but they do a all-wheel drive version for slopes. And that's something that perhaps I would consider based on this particular garden. It's got quite a slope there, that's probably 40 degrees. So we'll now come into the end of the cycle. So like I said, one hands-on hiccup there, which is down to lack of traction. Slightly wet grass in the corner. Couldn't get its traction on it, but an all-wheel drive would do that, like a 4x4. Otherwise to that, yeah, looking around, that really is a decent cut. And I'll show you what I started out with, because up here, look, it's slightly longer. You can see how long it is there. So it's been cutting grass at that length, but it's kept away from here because in there is a little bit of concrete edging. So of course it's just sensed that and said, nah, not cutting that.
Working complete.
There you go, working complete.
Start recharging.
Start recharging. That means I've got to take it to the charger. But what I'm going to try and do is just a manual override and cut that last little bit. But otherwise to that, well, impressive. And here's the view from, that really is doing a nice job while I go off and have a cup of tea. And if it gets tangled or lifted, yes, it will stop. But it announces that on the app and also on its voice It's got a voice activated system as well for any problems or faults. So you get notified if it stops. You get told if it needs any assistance. You can see the sensors on the front are giving you the view, or giving it its view. And if you really want to, you can log into the system, watch and see what the robot sees, and there's even a little wiper on the front. So that really is a great little gadget, you know. And for me, yeah, I've got to get the mapping sorted. That's down to me and my control. It'll only cut where I tell it to cut. So yeah, I need to improve my remote control skills. But I think, you know, to be honest, look at that. That really is amazing. So chuffed with that. I do like my gadgets. That's going amazingly well. And of course, if I need to cut any more bits that it can't get to, you can use it with a joystick and override it and just sit there with a cup of tea and send it around the garden yourself. You know, it is like a remote control car. But as it stands, that's brilliant. I didn't think it would cope with the slope on the garden, and it's doing exceptionally well. It is designed, it will cut wet grass, but I don't think that would help it too much. There are settings on the top where you can set the length of grass that you won't cut as well. I'll go into those a little bit afterwards, but for a little robot, cutting this grass has never been easier.
If you'd like to find out more about the Mammotion range of lawnmowers, then check the link in our description and you can find some great deals on the mowers that will take care of your garden while you sit back and travel.